2 years it's been since The Mandalorian Season 2, and fans have been waiting 2 years. And in that time, we got Mando in the Book of Boba Fett. And while the Book of Boba Fett did not live up to fan expectations, if anything, was very disappointing. We got two incredible Mandalorian episodes. Two episodes that felt extremely Star Wars, felt extremely promising for the future of The Mandalorian as well as for the future of Star Wars. And in those two episodes, we got the explanation as to where's Grogu? Is he training with Luke? What's going to happen with Din Djarin? Is Din Djarin going to be reunited with Grogu? Questions that everybody was wanting to be answered, and they were answered. And the episodes were phenomenal. But at the cost of the whole story and narrative of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. If you're going to have Grogu be taken by Luke Skywalker to be trained, which is incredibly interesting, everyone was wondering what's going to happen with Grogu. What's going to be the dynamic of Luke having to train Grogu and Luke also having to train Ben Solo in that whole situation. Incredibly interesting, and they could have taken it in so many directions. But I think they made a decision purely based on marketing, purely based on numbers, purely based on sales, that we have to reunite Din with Grogu, and that's what they did. About a year later, we finally get The Mandalorian Season 3. And Season 2 was phenomenal. Season 2, we got Ahsoka Tano, we got Boba Fett, we got Luke Skywalker. Incredible, incredible. With Season 2 leaving off with Luke Skywalker taking down Dark Troopers, entering the room with R2, and taking Grogu. And it was incredible Star Wars. Season 3 opens, and it's very promising at first. We start with Din Djarin and Grogu returning to the Mandalorian and fighting a big monster. Very action-packed. Din Djarin has to go to Mandalore and bathe in the water to be redeemed for taking off his helmet. And the first two episodes are phenomenal. They're an incredible high of the season. And then we get about 6 episodes of nonsense. A lot of filler episodes, a lot of filler stuff. Them fighting birds at one point, them fighting space pirates, just stuff that you really could just skip altogether, and it doesn't really affect the story very much. We get a little bit of Coruscant, which was phenomenal. Kinda seeing Coruscant, but the story with Dr. Pershing wasn't really that interesting. Very much Andor-esque. We get a phenomenal Order 66 scene, but it's just a scene. You know, that would have been amazing to have as an entire episode, to follow that whole situation with Grogu being saved by a Jedi who the actor who used to play Jar Jar Binks, and it's amazing. But why do we just get a scene of it? We also are reunited with Bo-Katan at the beginning of the season, and she's sitting on a throne in a castle, and you're led to believe that she's kind of in a depressed place. Maybe she's kind of looking a little bit, disgruntled. Is she going to betray the Mandalorian? Is she going to betray Din? There's something kind of going on with her. They then go to bathe in the waters in Mandalore, where Din Djarin is pulled under the waters, and Bo-Katan sees a mythosaur, and she does not tell Din Djarin about it. They return to the Mandalorian. She doesn't really tell anyone besides the armor, and it really has you wondering, like, what is going to happen? What is going to happen with Bo-Katan? Why is this happening? It's phenomenal. Nothing comes of it. Nothing comes of it. We get multiple filler episodes, and then we get to the third to the last episode, with a ridiculous Jack Black episode that, it's kind of cool. It kind of feels a little Clone Wars-ish. It's just some side adventure. That'd be great. It'd be phenomenal to have that episode if we had 16 episodes a season. But we have 8. And the episodes are just wasted on side stories that really don't matter to the plot. We get to the second to last episode, and it gets back on track to the story. And it's actually kind of good. It's actually pretty good. The Mandalorian return to the Mandalorian, get trapped. Moff Gideon returns. Din Djarin gets taken away. Paz Vizsla has to fight Praetorian guards and is killed by the Praetorian guards. And it kind of left a lot of people with, I'd say, a lot of hype for the finale. Maybe something crazy is going to happen. Maybe something's going to blow our mind, right? The last episode of the season comes, and it feels like the culmination of all 3 seasons played on easy mode. They fight Moff Gideon. They defeat him incredibly easy. And, you know, the way it went just felt too easy. The Praetorian guards are taken care of. Bo-Katan and Din Djarin come together to defeat Moff Gideon, who's trying to make clones and embed them with the Force for his army, clones of himself. But the whole episode just feels like it was all too easy. Like, there was really no risk. There was really no resistance. And it just felt really easy. And it felt very anticlimactic. And it just kind of speaks to a lot of the Star Wars being put out by Disney lately. Very unsatisfying. The stakes aren't high. The stories aren't grand. It's just the feeling it's been lately with the Kenobi show, Book of Boba Fett, the movies. Unsatisfying. It's something they're not able to get right about the shows, and it's so incredibly disappointing. Incredibly disappointing. We're left with a happy ending with Grogu and Din Djarin. And I don't know. It's interesting to see where the future of Star Wars is going to go from here. Nothing happens with the Mythosaur. It's kind of left alone, and it is what it is. Grogu becomes adopted by Din Djarin, and he is accepted into the Mandalorian. And it's just interesting to see where everything goes. We still have the Ahsoka show. We still have more Star Wars content coming in the future, and or season 2. Hopefully the movies within the next few years. But it's interesting. It's interesting to see there's no changes going on with Kathleen Kennedy. It seems like Jon Favreau is kind of out the door at this point. And I'm excited to see what happens with the Ahsoka show. I'm hopeful, and we'll see what happens. We have Dave Filoni writing it, who, in my opinion, is the only one who really knows how to write over at Lucasfilm. So we'll see where it goes. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. Like, subscribe. Tell me what you thought. Mandalorian, Season 3, 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Hopefully we'll get better in the future.